strangest variety. I don't think, I don't even know what to say about what's going on. It's just so weird. Both the microphones and the and the cords that I used are both not working into the SA, and they're also not working into this particular board. It's so odd. I'm a little spooked, to be honest with you. But hopefully you're hearing me now, and all is well and good. Woo! Strange things afoot. Lord have mercy. Hey, Paul Brown, what's going on, Daddy-O? I talked to Andy Alador, and we'll reschedule another shoot there, Paul G. Brown. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen, Paul G. Brown. We'll make it happen, Paul G. Brown. All right, I'm going to share this. Strange things afoot in the universe, ladies and gentlemen. Strange things afoot. I'm going to post this. I am going to post this over here. In Group in Crystal Kingdom. All right. Folks, we thought it would be fun today to take our minds off things we wish to take our minds off of and talk a little bit about, the good things in life, like guitars, playing guitars, sometimes playing guitars alone, away from humans in general. Sometimes that's good. And talk about a little about this guitar that I pulled the pin on, ladies and gentlemen. Waiting for ABBA, says Gregor. You rascal. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I ended up getting a new Lester, ladies and gentlemen. That seem a little fuzzy there? Let's see if I can switch to this camera once, see what happens. There we go. Can you dig it? We better there? Is it still a little foggy? Are we still a little foggy? Do 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 do. Yeah. So this guitar I ended up getting prior to the New Year's. The New Year's. I need a little. Well, first of all, a few years back, I ended up selling 2 Les Pauls that I had in order to help fund my 53 Telecaster that I bought. I always wanted to have an old Blackguard Telecaster, and diggity doggone it, one came into my possession that was not like a collector's piece, so it was a spray over. It wasn't refinished, but a spray over, as they say. Had a little hole underneath the pick guard, but the pickups were the same. The neck had been refretted, so I was able to afford it. And so I got rid of my Greg Martin Collector's Choice number 15 Les Paul from the Custom Shop, which is a glorious instrument. Greg Martin is a glorious individual, human guitar player in general. So I was pained to get rid of that guitar, but I had to prioritize what I needed. I needed that 53 Tele. And then I also had a Wildwood Spec 59 gloss Les Paul with a exorbitantly flamey top on it. So since I got rid of those guitars, really the only Lester Palfus that exists in my arsenal is that red Wildwood Spec 57 Les Paul that I have with the Fishman Fluence pickups on board, which is a glorious instrument. But I always just wanted to have another Sunburst Les Paul. And I was torn, ladies and gentlemen, because when I'm out of Wildwood doing those diggity doggone videos and it's Gibson Day, it's like one after another that I'm playing like, oh my God, this guitar is unbelievable. And so Wildwood Spec are like the ultimate Lesters as far as I'm concerned. They do all the little nuancy things that just make them Les Paulzilla, just like in the realm of Fender when they do Wildwood 10 Fenders. 10-inch radius, 6105 frets, quarter saw neck, special weights. Same thing with the Les Pauls. Now, what's interesting is that a lot of the things that used to be proprietary to the Wildwood Spec were things that Gibson wasn't doing on their regular. I think I can say this without getting in trouble. On their regular custom shop reissues, and gradually they started to adopt a lot of the things that Wildwood was doing. But there are still some things that make the Wildwood guitars special. First of all, their pickups are proprietary. Gibson makes them, but they're a special pickup that is wound. It's an underwound pickup. There's some other things they do that are, double secret probation, but they sound magnificent. All the guitars are under a certain weight. They get the priorities of the woods. And now there are Tom Murphy aged and painted Wildwood Spec Les Pauls, and they're fantastic. So a lot of times I'd be sitting around at the end of the day, and I'd go on my old iPhone or Rooney and go to the Wildwood website and just click on all custom shop Les Pauls. And I would go through them. And I'd go, oh, my God, look at that one. Oh, my God. But, they're not inexpensive, ladies and gentlemen. Even I get the super shaggy price. And it's still, it's an investment, right? It's an investment of cash. They're beautiful guitars, but there's nothing quite like a custom shop Les Paul. I don't know what it is. Well, first of all, it's the best woods, the way that they're made, the pickups. Then you put a Wildwood Spec thing on top of it. Then it's like Les Paulzilla. So I was going through various different guitars on the website, and Wildwood usually sends me about 4 guitars a week. There's some really good ones coming, by the way. That I use for these videos, and then I do some individual 30-second videos for the Wildwood 30s that we're doing, which are just like 30-second little things where I play a little bit for 30 seconds, then afterwards I look to the camera and say one word, and whatever inspires me in the moment, I say. Luckily, they've been PC at this particular point in time. But anyway, so I was looking at the site, and I found this Les Paul. And this is what I looked for. I mean, I like a lot of different guitars that, different Les Pauls, but I looked for a certain weight. This was under 8.5 pounds. So it was like 8 and some change. And I like 58s because 58s have just a little bigger neck on them. And I liked this color burst. I think this is the factory burst. Or is it the Wildwood burst? It might be the Wildwood burst. I'm going to take a look because I found a guitar that was just like it on the Wildwood site that I pasted to this to the description of this video so that you guys could peruse one that's very similar to the one I'm playing as we speak. And let me just open up this bad boy so I can take a look-see. Oh, yes, there it is. This one's got a little bit more of a flame in it, this one that I've attached to it. But a few different things that I dug. Wildwood Burst is the color of the burst. Chunky C profile. That's what I'm talking about. Bring me that chunky C. It's like a soup. I like that chunky C soup. Rosewood attached with hot hide glue. So on and so forth. Special Wildwood spec custom buckers, they're called, for pickups. Anyway, so, and I like the fact that this wasn't like a totally, there's something to be said about a, more of a plain top. There's a lot of people that have discussed, I'm certain they're discussing it on the internet right now someplace, that plainer tops resonate differently just because of the nature or the density of the wood. You know, flame maple is a little bit less stable of a wood. I learned that the hard way in terms of necks. And, but as you can see, it's just a nice, tasteful top on this rascal. Not that turbo, you know, curly tops are not tasteful. I just find that this is kind of a tasteful burst that also gives me the advantages of a plainer top. And I liked the redder in here as well because, as everyone knows, or maybe they don't know, that the original bursts from 58 and 59, once any kind of time had gone by, the red fades and they become more that lemon color, lemon green type of a thing, which is cool. But back in the day, they would have been red. And I didn't want like the tomato soup red, which of course they fixed that problem by 1960. That's why a lot of the 1960s that have survived have a lot more red in them. And sometimes it's more of a tomato soup red. And I didn't want the tomato soup. I just like this. It's just kind of a nice red bordering orangey into the yellow. And I dig that, right? But what I also really liked was the back of the guitar. It just has, it's not that real red. It's more of this kind of dark root beery. Is that the word I'm looking for? Root beery. Type of a color. And of course you got the Wildwood spec medallion here, which is super cool. And the neck it's just fun to look down at that neck when you're playing it. I don't know. There's just something about Lester's, man. You just sit down, you play it, and it just fills you with glee. Sustain on this beast is delicious. It does go good with the hat. Yes, Mark, it is staying at home. I made the transaction happen. So, as I said, I'm just kind of describing my process of shopping for guitars. You know, it's this interesting thing. You know, I got the guitar and I started playing. And I was like, this is the one. It's just it's working for me. Now I could have done any number of different, no, I'll send that one back. I want to try this one. I want to try this one. But sometimes you just get a guitar in your mitts and just go, we're done here. You know what I'm saying? We're done here. It is a beautiful tone hue, is it not? No. Is that poster your hat from above? Please unravel the enigma. It is indeed, Bluesman. It is 57 classic. No, these are special. Wildwood has a special pickup that Gibson makes for them. Wildwood spec custom buckers, and they sound delicious. Howdy, Greg. It's my birthday. Love your chops. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Happy birthday. Try playing Free Ride on it. But Free Ride was a Strat. Of course, you can kind of so it can be done. It can be done. The mountain is high, the valley is low. Well, Strats can sound like a whole bunch of different stuff. It's a guitar. You can do whatever you need to do on any of the guitars. You know, I've been in situations where I've been playing Strats, and I've had to play songs which are known for Les, or even my own songs that were more Lester things, and you just, you do what needs to be done on the instrument in order to conjure the tone. So if I'm playing a Gibson-type instrument and playing a song that was originally done on a Tele or a Strat, and I need to get some kind of a more of a percussive clickety-clackety, I usually go to that middle position. And the middle position on a humbucker guitar like a Lester or a 335 with a clean tone, you can get pretty percussive. And what's nice about it is it's percussive and it's got a brighter tone, but it's still got a little bit of oomph because they're humbuckers. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of that oomph. It's good for you. How is the woman tone? Oh, it's good, my friend. Let's check it out. Can you dig it? Rant-dan-dan-a-lee-dee. Anyways, for those who tuned in late, this is my new Wildwood Spec 58 Custom Shop Les Paul in the gloss format. And I picked it out from the site just like anyone else can do. I went to the site and I looked at it, and I went under, go to wildwoodguitars.com, look under Gibson Custom Shop, and there's all these different subheadings for Les Pauls, and I just said, show me all the Custom Shop Les Pauls. And I was looking for a 58. You can save a little money by buying a 58, ladies and gentlemen, because, everyone thinks of 59 as being the iconic year. For some reason, 58, they're just less money. And they have a bigger neck on them. I think that's part of it, too. So this one's got the chunky C. The chunky C, it's good enough for you. Greg Martin is the Duke of Tone. He's a good dude, by the way. And a great player. And I love that guitar that I had. It was a collector's choice, number 15, but I got rid of that. And another Custom Shop Wildwood Spec 59 Les Paul that I had, I got rid of both of those a few years back so I could drum up some currency to buy that 53 Telly. I had to prioritize the 53 Telly. And so I got rid of a few things that I just hadn't been playing all that much. At that time, most of the time I was playing the, which I still do play a ton, the red Wildwood Spec 57 Les Paul that I have with the Fishman Fluence pickups on board. But I'd been wanting to get a little bursty burst. So I chose the 58 because I wanted the chunkier neck. It was less dough. I liked this particular color of burst. And plus it was more of a, I just liked the subtle burst. It just, sometimes the totally burst ones out just kind of, well, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful to behold, but sometimes I just want to see a plainer top. And from a sound point of view, there is something to be said. And plus, when I got this guitar and I started playing it, it sustains in a way that just kind of freaked me out. And so I pounced like wild game. Can you dig it? So up aboard on the... on the description of this video, I actually linked to another 58 gloss Wildwood Spec Les Paul that they have right now at Wildwood if you want to check those out. Diggity dog on them. What is the gloss versus VOS? Well, gloss is just brand new, right? A VOS is they just put a little bit patina on. I'm not going to say they age it, but just everything is just a little broken in. There's no like overt scratches or dings in it or anything like that. It's just they have made it less glossy and more just kind of broken in just a little bit. So the colors are a little bit not as vivid. Well, the colors, you know what I'm talking about. Just the finish is just a little died down. The hardware's a little died down as a result of just having a little bit of patina. Can you dig it? Patina! Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments here. Can you dig it? Dulled. You like that? Subtle flame top. Yes, it is subtle, isn't it? Subtle. There it is. Right? I like it. It's a beauteous specimen. And I like, as I said before, the 58s, and 59s usually don't have this much red in them, just simply because they're usually trying to make them be more like what the 58s or 59s would be now, where that red would have, faded into a yellowish or lemon burst type of a thing. But this one, I just liked it because it's got a little bit of that red going into a little orange. And plus, I loved the color of the back of it as well. I like that darker mahogany. And then, as I said before, you get that nice little Wildwood Spec medallion back there, which is really cool. And this is under 8.5 pounds, so it's nice and light in comparison to a lot of them. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Does the case candy include details of a divorce lawyer? No, you just got to be upfront with your loved one and say, you know what? It's better than Jaeger and Blow. It's better than Jaeger and Blow. Oh, be like a dicky doodle. It's better than Jaeger and Blow. A great sugar bugger, better than Jaeger and Blow. And it holds its value, better than Jaeger and Blow. Ho, ho, but it do. It's better than Jaeger and Blow. But does it jazz? Of course, Bluesman. What kind of pickups? These are Wildwood spec custom buckers that are made especially for our friends at Wildwood Guitars in these guitars that are Wildwood spec Lester Pulvis. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Pretty low output. I would say medium low output, yeah. Right? It sounds delicious. All right, we've got a couple minutes left. I'm also going to play a guitar that I actually played last week. I'm going to play it again because there weren't any in stock at Wildwood, and there is now, and I've got a link up above. And this is a delicious Reverend morsel in a new hue, a new tone hue. And I'll give you the exact deets on this beast. I'll give you the deets on this beast, and you can partake in the feast. Did you hear that? You can partake in the feast. It's a double agent OG. This particular color, which we should scam in on. I love that color. A buddy of mine, George Davies, had a Refin 70s Strat in this color. And the Reverend folks are calling this color Metallic Silver Freeze. And I dig it. This is bolt-on guitar. It's got the, as I like to say, the abdominal accommodator in case you want to be comfortable and let your abdomen do the thing you want to do. And do that thing you want to do. It's got the P90 here and the humbucker back. The thing up top here is the bass contour control, which is something that's Reverend is known for. It's Carina body, maple back of the roasted maple back of the neck, a medium oval neck profile, and a Palfaro fingerboard. Okay. We got an HA5 humbucker in the bridge and a 9A5 P90 in the neck. Okay. Kind of dig it. Okay. Let's hear this beast a little bit. Now, I did. Hang on. I'm going to tune this rascal up a little bit. I did put a link to, they have one of these very guitars in this color at Wildwood. And I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to tune this prior to our thing. As I mentioned, right before we went live, folks, there was a strange circumstance. So just what we do technically wise is that I have a vocal mic that I'm speaking into as we speak. Usually it's an SM58. And I take that 58 and I snake my way to the back of the room where this thing right here, this SA330X, which I've had for a while, it sounds magnificent, works great. I plug into that so I can hear myself in the room, and then I take a direct out of the back and go into the Tascam console here. And then out of that it goes, that's the interface into the Logic that we're using to mix on board the computer itself. And then it's fed into OBS, which is then what we use to go out to the live world. And so anyway, it's been working great because I can hear myself in the room, and then it also goes direct into the thing, so Ryan can mix it from afar and do the vocal mic so that you can hear it. So for some reason today, I plugged in as I usually do, heard the click into the SA, so I know it's working, and the mic didn't work. So of course, what do you usually think? Well, either the cord's probably bad. It's an old cord. So I replaced the cord. The cord didn't work. The next cord didn't work. I go, well, that's weird. Maybe it's the mic. Maybe I screwed up the mic. Maybe the mic dropped. So I grabbed another 58, plugged it in. It didn't work either. Now we're running. It's like 2 minutes before we're supposed to go live. And I just said to Ryan, I go, let's just plug straight into the board. I plugged both mics and both cords into a channel, 2 different channels of the thing, and neither of them worked. So then now we're really freaking out. So I have an SM57 this on one of the amps in here. So I grabbed that, and he's like, that's working. So I said, all right, well, then let's just put it on the bigger mic stand, and away we'll go. But that is odd, right? So what are the chances of both cords and both microphones being bad? It's just a little odd. I'm going to strike it up to a little something called, people talked about 2020. Thinking 2021 is kind of like the Two Towers versus, we just got out of the Fellowship of the Ring, and now we're going into the Two Towers. Sorry to say it, folks. Brace yourselves, okay? We're going to try to lighten it up by the power of rock music and sweet guitars, but strap in. We're going for a ride. You know what I'm saying? Who's with me out there? Phantom power issue. No, what? Again, Henry, it would have made sense for, it would have worked in some way, shape, or form because everything else is going through the board as well. So this is going through that same board, the whole night. It's so weird. It's a little weird. All right, so I'm on that humbucker right now. So what's great is I can go back on this bass contour and it thins it out a little bit. So I just dropped that pick, but it landed right on top of my foot or whatever that is. Leg. So this is the sound of the full humbucker. So nice and it's just starting to snot up that clean sound a little bit. And then I can go back on the bass contour and see how much brighter that got. I tried rebooting. Believe me, we tried everything. Turning off things, rebooting. We did it all. That's why I'm a little spooked. Yeah, Daddy Longlegs fooling around with my mixer, exactly. That's just the bridge pickup by itself. It sounds monstrous. Here's both pickups. So you got the humbucker and the P90 rolling. Let's go to that neck pickup. Sounds good, does it not? It sounds juicy. Whose birthday was it out there? I saw another birthday person. I saw another birthday person. Saw another birthday person. Saw another birthday person who wanted a little Spanish gristle magic. Who's the birthday person? Who's the birthday person? Identify yourself. Identify yourself. Who's the birthday person? Identify yourself. Identify yourself. It's very far away. Takes about half a day to get there. If we travel by my dragonfly. Though it's not in Spain, all the same, you know it's a groovy name. And the wind's just right. Ba-da-doom, boom, ba-dick-a-doom, ba-da-doo-doo, ba-doop-a-doo, da-da-doo-doo, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Can you dig it, folks? Can you dig it? Again, this is Reverend Devil Agent, OG, in silver metallic frieze. I just find it to be glorious. Actually, I was not in. Someone wanted to hear a Cashmere in standard tuning, so I thought I'd give it a stab. I'm in standard tuning. Kind of fun. One axe to rule them all. It is quite versatile, isn't it? It's a good sounding weapon. That's a little bit of that Led Zeppelin from Presence, the Candy Store Rock, if you'll recall, some variation of it. Royal Orleans is another good one. I can't remember all of them, doggone it. So many riffs, so little time. Will Reverend make a special sensei again with the humbucker P90 combo? Wildwood have one a while. I'm sure that they will. I'm sure that they will at some point in time. If John Paul Jones or Page gives Greg a call, what if John Paul, well, they would probably say, you're fired. Actually, I met John Paul Jones once. He was a very nice fellow. He saw our band play, and I said, say sorry about that. Because I do that. He saw us do the my Dick Dale meets Jimmy Page thing, and then my country version of where I do kind of a Chet Atkins version of Stairway to Heaven for a hot second. I said, hey, sorry about all the tongue-in-cheek references to your mighty ensemble. He's like, don't worry, mate. The check is in the mail. I think he meant the invoice is in the mail. Guitar's got it all, diggity dog on it. All right, any last questions out there? We had fun. We had fun with my new Lester, and we had fun with the Reverend Double Agent OG. And there are links to guitars just like this up on the description of this video, which you can go. Is that a 3-way switch or a 5-way switch? It's a 3-way switch on here. Last question, Todd. What do you got for me? Todd has a question for me. I should name the new guitar? Yeah, well, maybe I will. I'm not too good at naming the guitars, so I just kind of say that one, or give me the Crimson Harlot, or whatever the case may be. I'd say the various different things. I got old blue. I got new blue. I got big red. I got little red. And you dig it? What are the string gauges on the Lester? They are 10 through 46 at this juncture in time. Once a month red. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Security, we got a 09 in progress. Price, sir. They are located at, if you click on the links above, you can find out what the price. I think these are like, I think $9.99 maybe. Maybe they're less than that. The Lester is, I don't know, you have to look. I can't count that high. Yeah, there you go. $899.99 for this guitar, which is quite equitable. Right? So juicy. So succulence. Succulence. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Someone asked about rail hammers. Yes, there are rail hammers on a number of other different Reverend guitars, but on this guitar, they don't have them. Can you dig it? Thank you so much, folks. Take care of yourself. Be safe out there. And food choice for the evening. That's a good question. We had a tasty spaghetti last night. It was so damn delicious. I don't know what we decided for dinner tonight. Is it Thursday already? Man, I'll tell you what, days go by. Biggity, big, big, Anyways, thanks to Wildwood for, again, sponsoring my 2 days a week that I do stuff for them. Of course, I do the other 2 days, Mondays and Fridays for Fishman. Be back tomorrow at Friday at 5 p.m. Central. Don't forget, folks, I do have my new reissue of a record I put out long ago. Some real crazy, if you like crazy guitar ripping stuff, that's kind of like, this was probably at the high water mark of my truly deranged instrumental guitar mode in terms of it's bluesy, chicken picking-y, fusion-y, funky, crazy-ass stuff. And it was originally came out as a radio show. That's why it was called Radio Free Gristle. I did little voiceovers in between. But just for the sake of putting the music first, it's just all the music from that record I reissued. I bought the record, the rights back for my record about 3 or 4 years ago. It was on Favored Nations, and Steve Vai and company owned the record. And so I had to buy my record back. So I did, as you do. But it took me a while to find where the old artwork was, and it took forever to figure out, am I going to re-release it? Well, I'm going to pay attention to my new stuff, and yada, yada, yada. But people were commenting. It's like, listen, you can't find this record anywhere online. I thought, well, just for the sake of the music itself is, I was listening to the other day. I was like, I work my ass off, and I'm listening to these tracks. I'm like, they deserve to be heard by the people who haven't heard them. So it's so here it is. So you can go to my website, and they're going to be signed copies that include posters. Why Supply Lasts. It's 15 tunes. There's a tune on there called Rosebud, what I dedicated to my mom. And at the time, my mom was always bugging me to play acoustic guitar. So she's like, why don't you ever play that acoustic guitar? So there's a tune on there called Rosebud, which I also re-recorded for the acoustic Gristle Soup. But the original version, I had dobro on there, and my buddy played upright bass, my buddy Steve Andreoni. And I put like a Knopfler-esque Strat part on there as well. And as we were recording it, and I was doing these little snippets between songs, I called up my mom. I said, Mom, I'm out here in California. We're mixing the record. I need you to yell at me like you usually would do about playing the acoustic guitar. Can you do it? She goes, are we rolling? So needless to say, she was game. So you can hear I kept that voiceover in there. So it's like she goes, Greg, why don't you ever play that acoustic guitar? And then it goes into the tune. So that's worth the price of admission alone. Anyway, it's called Radio Free Gristle, just the jams. You can get it from the website. I still have some of the original posters that the label did that I don't even think they sent out. That's a whole story of its own, bless them. But I have some records. The CDs will be signed while supplies last. And there will be posters included while supplies last. But I have plenty. So there you go. You can go to my website, gregkoch.com, where you can find all things. Hats. You can find records. You can find Gristle King pedals. You can find T-shirts. All that kind of, all my instructional materials. Doggone it. All right, folks, have a good one. We'll see you later. Take care.